Hey everybody, it's me, the theorize here. I hope you're all ready for this fun little video. I do want to give a little bit of a preference before you go into it though. This is the first normal, properly edited video with my new mic setup, and there are still some weird audio issues in this one. It's mostly just like a weird dip here and there. I've ironed out the best I can, and it's not too bad, but if you hear that, that's all it is. Hopefully the next video doesn't have it, but you know what? Not nearly as bad as Phoenix Wright had, so should be fine. All right, enjoy.
Join your heart with mine.
Take a look.
Let me go.
Over here, Sully. The masked boy and a vessel of pure darkness, Vanitas. When Ventus failed Master Xehanort, he split the light and darkness from the young boy. The light would become Ven again, but the darkness would manifest and become Vanitas. Xehanort told Vanitas his mission: join with Ventus and forge the Keyblade. Vanitas, alongside his army of monsters forged through negative emotions known as the Unversed, tormented the young students of Master Ericus along all their journeys. He would succeed in rejoining with Ventus, though our hero would break through the darkness, destroying Vanitas and the Keyblade, even though it costed him his own life. 11 years later, after Xehanort was recompleted and formed the true Organization 13, Vanitas was pulled through time to join his master in their quest for the Keyblade and total recreation of the entire universe. Vanitas would still be struck down in the end by two of the students he plagued before, and the boy who saved Ventus and gave the masked boy his own face, Sora. In his last moments, Vanitas cemented himself as what he was: darkness. I don't see many people talking about Vanitas in discussions about Kingdom Hearts villains, so I wanted to shine some light on him. Well, a spotlight at least. I don't think he wants anything to do with the light. Vanitas is one of my all-time favorite villains throughout the series. He's such a douchebag and an unrelenting asshole to everybody, and I just love that about him. Plus, with how present he was during the events of Birth by Sleep, could Vanitas make his way and torment the world of Smash Bros? Probably not, but this channel has a unique aspect of making movesets for anyone I want to. I just made a Tron moveset. If I want to make a Vanitas moveset, then damn it, I'm going to make a Vanitas moveset. Now, even though this seems like a spur of the moment idea, this moveset has been brewing up since 2024. I am so serious right now. So it's high time to see what this Harbinger of Darkness would be like if he managed to join the brawl. So let the games begin. What if Vanitas joined Smash Bros?
Vanitas.
But before we begin this adventure, let's change some things up real quick. See, the backgrounds for the rest of this video have served their purpose, but it's been 4 years since I've changed them, and I think it's high time that we do something different with them. What do I mean by that? Well, let me put on my magic spell and... Imagination, imagination, fix this screen, because I am tired of looking at this stupid thing!
There we go. That's much better.
Okay, so Vanitas has so many boss fights throughout the series, but many of them are very similar to one another. He's very aggressive and tricky with his attacks, intentionally messing with the player and trying to cause them to slip up. This actually can translate surprisingly well into Super Smash Bros. Now yes, there will be some stuff we'll have to make up for this, but that makes for a fun time for me. Who knows, Vanitas might yeet the opponent like how Sully yeeted him. So, what kind of fighter is he? Well, Vanitas will be a glass cannon pressurer. Lay down the pressure, but be careful as you can't be taken out very easily. Be deceptive and relentless with your attacks, forcing your opponents to play on the defensive and carefully time their openings. Talking stats, Vanitas will be a lightweight fighter, sitting at the exact same spot as Sora. Yeah, he's going to be pretty easy to knock out. Vanitas has a pretty average walk speed with pretty good run speed and a great initial dash. Now when it comes to aerial stats, he's okay. His airspeed is below the halfway mark and his fall speed is just barely above that. He's got 2 jumps, though the second one is pretty poor, but he'll have a wall jump to compensate. Vanitas' default appearance will be his main look throughout the series, but specifically his helmetless look, showing off his real face. That might be a controversial move, but I think it'd be a great choice for Smash Bros. His second ult will change the red and blue on his outfit and Keyblade to white, based on the Vanitas Remnant Super Boss in Birth by Sleep. The stark difference in colors will make this a striking color choice. His third ult is kinda a remix of the last 2, making Vanitas a pearly white, bright blue, yellow, and vibrant red color scheme. This comes from the Trinity Armor boss fight in Radiant Garden. Hey look, I think the Unversed are fair game for recolor inspiration. Now Vanitas' fourth ult will be a fun one, and maybe an obvious choice, as it changes his colors to match that of Dark Riku and the Riku replica. Hey, they share an outfit, so they can share a color. His fifth ult is a purple and pink recolor, coming from the standard Flood Unverse throughout the various games. Gotta love a good purple and pink color scheme too, you know? For Alt 6, Vanitas will be getting a green recolor, coming from Ventus's Dive to the Heart. The green is complemented with teal and pastel green details, making for a visually appealing outfit. Damn, I really do sound like an art major, don't I? Alright, let's change this up and give Vanitas some new costumes. His seventh ult will be his Organization 13 coat with this helmet on, as seen in the Monstropolis world back in Kingdom Hearts 3. They look just so good together. And his 8th ult will be Vanitas' look after he forces Ventus to forge the Keyblade in Birth by Sleep, commonly known as the Ventus-Vanitas fusion. This will change his voice to add Ventus to it, and change his Keyblade to match the colors of that of the Keyblade. No, not his Keyblade, the Keyblade. Some say Kai, but the meaning's all the same. Vanitas' stage entrance has him enter the match by emerging from a sphere of darkness, landing on the stage, ready to brawl. Now for taunts, Vanitas' up taunt consists of him holding his Keyblade straight out and saying,
"Darkness waits!"
His side taunt has Vanitas hold his Keyblade out as aggressively as possible, with his hand shrouded in darkness, as he says,
"I've been waiting for this."
And his down taunt has him flip his Keyblade around to grab it with both hands, hunching over and shouting,
"Show me anguish!"
Now when it comes to victories, the first has Vanitas hold his Keyblade straight out as if to threaten the losers, and just laughs at them. Such a diabolical way to end the fight. His second has Vanitas simply rest his Keyblade on his shoulder, like he's taunting the other fighters for losing to him, like the bastard that he is. And his final has Vanitas stab his Keyblade into the ground, then cross his arms while leaning on the Keyblade, as if he couldn't even care about his victory. And with that, let's move on to his full moveset. Vanitas' jab consists of him attacking with a high to low diagonal strike, then follows up with a rising slash. The move might only be a 2-hit combo, but a very powerful one that can lead into strong and deceptive combos, though won't really be useful in claiming stocks. But his forward tilt can. This has Vanitas aggressively swipe his Keyblade from left to right. It's got strictly vertical range, but it's strong enough that it can claim stocks at higher percents. That said, really don't be just using it whenever, as there is some end lag after use. Now his up tilt has Vanitas take his Keyblade and spin around overhead with as much force as possible. This is very quick and hits hard, serving as a solid KO move. It can also drag opponents up into the attack, so take note of this while planning your attacks. Watch out for opponents though, as this move is fairly punishable. I mean, he is just standing there.
Menacingly!
His down tilt just has Vanitas do a sweeping kick. It's not nearly as strong as his other attacks. In fact, it has some of the weakest damage output in his whole moveset. But on the flip side, it's quick and can serve as a good edge guarding tool. That, alongside of having little in lag, makes this a great move to trip up opponents. And his dash attack has Vanitas use the Dark Spiral ability, in which he spins his Keyblade around right in front of himself before he catches it again. It's a bit slower to come out, but can dish out lots of damage. This also gives Vanitas a boost, pushing him forwards. You can use this to quickly close the distance between yourself and an opponent. Or just use this as a generally threatening move, being like, oh, I'm gonna get you. Vanitas' forward smash has him charge his Keyblade overhead before he slams it into the ground. It's a standard smash attack at its core, dealing lots of damage and KOing much earlier than his other smash attacks. However, there is an added benefit if you manage to get a full charge on the attack. If you do, Vanitas will fire a slash of darkness that goes forwards just over a dash length. It will deal solid damage to anyone who gets hit in its wake, and trust me, it's got lots of range. It's not much, but it might make for more pressuring tools, though you do have to fully charge it to get this benefit, and someone might just take advantage of that. Be ready to bounce at a moment's notice is what I'm saying. With his up smash, Vanitas charges his Keyblade up with darkness before unleashing a powerful strike upwards that also causes two fangs of darkness to shoot up and out of the ground, forming a triangle around Vanitas. This attack is piercing, dealing lots of damage, though has peculiar range due to its triangular shape. It can also somewhat trap opponents that might be off to the side, forcing opponents to drop to the ground and take the full blunt of the attack. Though, because of this, it does have a decent amount of end lag. As for his down smash, Vanitas will charge up his Keyblade and stab it into the ground, unleashing two strings of darkness that shoot off out of the ground. It's not the most powerful of attacks, but can cover a wide area. These discharges start off about at Vanitas' shoulders and will descend as it continues out. They can't kill till much higher percents, but have good launch power. Now, the last time Vanitas used this was with the Keyblade, but he doesn't have it here, so it'll just be darkness waves. No biggie. Vanitas' neutraler has him perform 3 insanely quick strikes, forming a cross slash before spinning around in circles. This deals solid damage and covers a wide area, though doesn't have lots of KO potentiality. It's got good launch power though, so you can use this as a good combo finisher, or if you really just want to mess with your opponents a bit. Now his forward air has Vanitas grab his Keyblade with both hands and slam it downwards, making this a powerful attack, killing at very early percents, especially against lighter foes. There is some in lag after use though, not enough to be a true detriment to you, but enough to be punishable if opponents catch you with it. His back air has Vanitas turn around and stab his Keyblade forward. It's harder to hit off, but deals great damage, serving as a solid kill confirm at mid to high percents. There is also a sweet spot at the tip of the Keyblade, making this even stronger of an attack. Though on the flip side, the closer you are to Vanitas, there's a lot more sour spots, so make sure you get the aim right. Now his up air has Vanitas just swing his Keyblade overhead. It covers a wide area above Vanitas, dealing moderate damage and somewhat juggling opponents. It's also quick to end, so you can juggle an opponent, then follow up with his down air or his down special. Ooh, sneak peek, stay tuned for that. And speaking of which, for his down air, Vanitas will use his Dark Thundaga ability, sweeping his Keyblade underneath himself with Dark Lightning arcing out of it. This will stagger opponents if they get hit by it, which can give you the chance to follow up with another attack. This is made even easier due to the attack's range. Even with its weaker damage output, this move will be deadly to anyone who stands in your way. Vanitas grabs with one hand and pummels by kneeing the opponent. Nothing advanced here, just your standard combo. Though do note that Vanitas has a bit of a poorer grab and has some in lag if you whiff it. So make sure you know how close you are to the opponent when you go for the grab. His forward throw has Vanitas drop down and push himself forwards to kick the opponent. This hits hard, launches them far, and will move Vanitas forwards. All around, this is going to be one of the more useful throws. And really, he only has one other one, so His back throw has Vanitas hurl the opponent backwards after spinning them around. It's another far launcher, though this isn't as strong as one and has poor knockback growth. Vanitas' up throw is a simple yet aggressive toss upwards. It's not amazingly powerful, but it is easy to perform a follow-up after completion, because no matter what, it doesn't launch very far. As for his down throw though, Vanitas will drop the opponent into the ground before he quickly turns his Keyblade around and stabs it into the opponent. This has great launch power and will serve as his kill throw. Bro just has an obsession with doing this, especially to Aqua. No wonder she called him a freak.
You freak!
Well, this has been fun so far, but it does seem like he's missing some iconic abilities. Fortunately, Vanitas' specials bring not just that, but some unique pressuring tools as well. So how about we enter the darkness, shall we? Now let's start with a more iconic skill seen throughout Kingdom Hearts, first appearing in the original game used by Riku. That's right, Vanitas' neutral special will be Dark Firaga. Don't worry, I'll try to make this different from my Riku moveset. Vanitas will use his Keyblade to cast a Fireball. It's slow moving and deals average damage, but if it goes a certain distance without hitting anyone, it will break off into 3 different shots of fire that continue forwards in a line, dealing way more damage and loosely homing in on opponents. Using the special again will cause the previous Fireball to dissipate, as will the Fireball failing to connect. The loose homing capabilities are only applied to the opponent closest to Vanitas, so do keep that in mind. Still, be wary playing against him though, as the split fireballs can claim stocks much earlier than you would suspect. He's a bit of a sitting duck after casting the move though, so be ready for enemy attacks. Dark Firaga is one hell of a projectile that will cause opponents to play it safe, though with careful timing can be easily dealt with. Guess that means Terra can't have Dark Firaga as his neutral special. Oh well. Now his side special was pretty hard to implement, but if you want something deceptive, then nothing works better than a Shadow Dive. Vanitas dives into the ground, appearing as a blazing trail of darkness on the ground. You can move around in this form, and when B is pressed again, he'll rise out of the ground in a pillar of fire. This takes a lot of time to fully activate, and Vanitas can be forced out of the ground via a berry, smash attack, or a more downwards focused move. That said, if you're able to fully pull it off and get off the attack portion, opponents will be dealt lots of damage and are dragged up with Vanitas, leading you to get an aerial advantage. Something that you could totally use to your advantage despite your poor airspeed. The fireballs are sporadic, dealing very weak damage. Vanitas himself will be the one dealing the most damage here. Now don't take too long in pressing B again, because waiting too long will cause Vanitas to automatically perform the follow-up. Oh, and this move cannot be used in the air. Shadow Dive is fairly tricky, both for you and other fighters. That said, this can be deadly for those who aren't prepared to deal with it. Okay, we all know what Vanitas' up special will be, right? This is a well-known part of basically all of his boss fights, so of course it'll appear in his moveset. With that said, Vanitas' up special calls upon the Keyblades of dead wielders. The Keyblade Ride. Vanitas summons an array of old Keyblades and rides them. It's a powerful recovery, as it can be moved in literally any direction for a period of 5 seconds, and can be used to get back to the stage in a moment's notice. That said, this will put Vanitas into free fall after use. There is a hitbox on the move, and while it's not that strong, you can totally use it to ram into opponents and launch them. Don't expect it to KO though, like at all, it will literally not be able to KO. You can cancel the attack by pressing B again, though do remember the free fall before you do. Keyblade Ride, what a morbid recovery move! And one that proves why Vanitas is such a threat. Now I said that his side special was the most deceptive part of his moveset, but that was a lie. See, Vanitas has a fun little warping aspect to his fights. So for his down special, Vanitas will perform a warp down slash. Yes, that's the official name in the games. I am so serious on that. Vanitas will warp upwards in a shadow ball, leaving behind a shadow copy of himself. He'll then slam down from the vortex, attacking the opponent with full force and dealing great damage.
If an opponent attacks the shadow copy of Vanitas though, he'll cast Dark Blizzaga with the attack, causing a large pillar of ice to shoot outwards. This adds more damage and knockback. This is fairly simple on paper, right? Well, that's where the fun comes in. You can literally use this in so many ways to trip up your opponents. You can bait them into attacking the shadow copy of yourself and then getting extra punished for it. Or you can just use this as a speedy getaway for them to go, hey, where'd you go? And then just attack them. There's so many ways to use this move. Though, do note that this move is very committal and cannot be spammed. And if an opponent can perfectly predict this, you might be screwed. Just fair warning. A powerful yet committal special, Warp Down Slash, can put you in an advantage state if used right, or the disadvantage if used improperly. Just another way to add more pressure and deceptiveness to this fight. Now that that's all taken care of, we move on to one final part of the kit. Ready for it? Now for Vanitas' final smash, we'll be remixing another old idea and reforging it for this moveset. What do I mean by that? Well, for Vanitas' final smash, he'll do the one thing he was made for. He'll forge the Keyblade. After unleashing the power of the Smash Ball, Vanitas charges down through the stage, shouting,
There's no escape.
Or
Forge the Keyblade.
Initiating a non-cinematic final smash that completely shatters the stage, leaving other players stranded in midair. Vanitas will now wield a broken Keyblade, with the player in full control of his actions. Pressing A has Vanitas use Dark Splicer, teleporting around the stage and relentlessly attacking the opponents. Pressing B has Vanitas use a Dark Cannon-esque attack, firing off a massive beam that damages all opponents. After one completes, the stage and Vanitas will return to normal, and the fight will resume like before. This is a brutal final smash that will allow Vanitas to rack up damage, potentially KOing those at too high of percents. Even with a damaged Keyblade, Vanitas is a threat to behold, and this final smash proves why. But where there is darkness, there is also light. And that does it for what if Vanitas joined Smash Bros. Now we gotta hurry up and end this quickly before he starts shouting anymore.
Too slow. Pathetic.
Shit.
Gotcha.
Damn it.
See ya.
He's here.
Suffer.
He's
Go.
here.
What's yours is mine. Darkness waits.
I really don't have a lot left to say with this video. Vanitas has been one of my favorite characters ever since I got into the franchise, and he was one of the first ideas for a moveset. I made him around the same time that I made the Laminin or Bosa, if you're very curious. But he just never happened, and we're finally here. And man, he's been such a fun moveset too. He's got a very unique set of abilities, and even though they're pretty consistent throughout the games, you can have a very fun time designing his moveset. And I hope I proved that to you today. Because I know if I did anything, I proved that to myself. And that's what's important. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up here. So thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, do you know what you can do? That's right, you can like the video, you can comment, or you can subscribe to the channel if you want to see more like this. There will be a link in the description down below if you want to see more videos exactly like this throughout time. It is a playlist to the entirety of the Smash Bros. Theory Kids series, starting all the way back in August of 2022 to now July of 2026. I'm so much older than I was back then. And yeah, that's all I've got. So I hope you all had a great time. I haven't recorded one of these videos in a second if you couldn't tell. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you all next time. Bye-bye. I'm gonna get it right one day. I still haven't forgotten Neverland, you little shithead.